Nice and quick, 5 slides. Okay, good evening, everyone. My name's Iain Cresswell, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Tibdit. We've created a micropayment solution for online content and service providers to be used quickly and easily over the internet. Okay, so why micropayments? Well, the idea of micropayments have actually been around for a very long time. They do have potential to solve a lot of issues in terms of revenue generation, particularly for the online publishing industry. Walter Isaacson, I'm not sure if you heard of him or not, but he's the ex-editor of Time magazine, and he's proposed that readers should start paying to access online content. This is purely because online advertising revenue is not enough to guarantee good quality journalism. And also, partly because journalists should be beholden to their readers, not advertisers. Now, many organizations tried to solve this problem previously, but no one today has actually been managed to implement an easy-to-use micropayment solution. In the late 1990s, the W3C, the International Standards Organization for the World Wide Web, tried to implement micropayments within web protocols, but later abolished it. Only to today, Apple has had success with its arbitrary 79p pricing model across the board for all its music. This is purely because customers have found this easy, they know what they're going to spend beforehand, and not obviously music is not always valued at the same price. Okay, so what are the barriers? Well, some industry insiders have actually put this down to the mental friction of trying to make a decision to buy goods is actually more than the cost of the goods and services themselves. For example, how often have you gone onto a website, you've read an article you've really liked, you've clicked through to find out a bit more, only to be confronted with a large paywall that immediately asks for your username, your email address, your contact details, credit card, etc., etc., etc. I'm pretty sure you, like me at that stage, have just gone, no way, and you've closed it down and you moved on. The truth is, beneath a certain cost, trying to value goods and services is almost impossible. How do you value something which costs next to nothing? And what's the difference between 5p and 10p in price? Is that merely 10p in difference, or is that 100% difference? This is the challenge that micropayments have faced to date. Okay, so TIBs are our solution to the problem. We call our users Tibbers, and the recipients of their micropayments Tibbies, much like payees and payers. Okay, so what do we do differently? Well, Tibdit gets around this problem by having our customers actually prepay the value of their tips beforehand, and at the same, don't have to think twice value for both their access and their thank you payments. This way, customers have already decided the value of their tips, so it's simply a case of whether do I want this or not. It's a 2-click process to send a prepaid tip of anything in value from 1.5p to £1.15 value to anyone who has our button on the website. It's quick and easy to get set up. You merely click on a tip button, which could exist anywhere on the internet. You get taken through to our website to register. You then specify how much you want each tip to be, which could be any sort of arbitrary value that you set. You then confirm your payment method, and then one final click to transfer that tip, and it's all done. We collect 10% commission on all tips that are spent. Okay, so Bitcoin just uses the transfer mechanism, and the conversion into Bitcoin is done after the tip is sent. This is to make sure you avoid all exchange rate movements. To get started as a Tibby, you simply obtain a Bitcoin address, incorporate it within a button, or incorporate it into URL, which could be a button itself or a link on a web page, and you're automatically starting to receive tips. There is no need to register. We actually have no control over what the Tibbies do with their tips, so it gives them the total flexibility to decide how they want to interact with the customer themselves. And it's also important to note that Tibbers actually don't find out the value of the tips that they receive. This is to make sure that they treat each Tibber identically. Just to give you an example of some implications, a content provider can allow a tip per read model on the website in conjunction with an existing paywall. A game site can offer a game per play tip via the browser quickly and easily, and an online dating website can offer more profiles or even messaging capabilities after they've received a tip. So we see the potential for this to be massive. Just imagine Wikipedia if they could accept a tip for every single article that they write, as opposed to their biannual funding mechanism, which is not always a success. So thank you very much for your time. I'd like to invite you to think of us the next time that you are confronted with an ad that you happily tip to get rid of, or you're faced with a paywall that you would close down forcibly with a click, or more appropriately, if you're faced with that feeling of appreciation for someone who's written a nice article that you've liked on the website and you wish to give some kind of tangible thank you. If you have any further questions, just come and see us afterwards. Thank you very much.